Hey everybody, I'm at the Cincinnati Nature Center right now, and it's winter right now, and I have been thinking a lot about the concept of scarcity and abundance. Now, at this time of year I feel more scarcity because it's cold outside. I'm more confined to the indoors. I can't really run around just with shorts on and my barefoot shoes. The food quality is a little bit more scarce. The variety of food is more scarce. What else? Friendships are more scarce. Relationships are more scarce because, compared to something like Hawaii or Woodstock Fruit Festival, here in Ohio, or at least in Cincinnati right now, I'm not around my close friends or even people that I really went to school with. And this has led me to think a lot more about what I want in my life. Sometimes we have two motivators, pleasure and pain, and right now it's more the scarcity side that is motivating me to make a change in my life. So, when we look around, we kind of see, or when we think about the condition of the world right now, at least of the human life right now, the average human life, we tend to think scarcity, especially in different countries around the world. And but even when I think about it, the average American is living in scarcity. And while that might actually sound like, a lot of people might say, you got first world problems, life is great for average American and all these things, someone might say. One factor that I see is critical in, abundance is health. Now, do most Americans have their health? Well, when we look at the standard American diet, we know that most Americans are not eating a healthy diet, so they don't have their health. Now, when I think about scarcity and abundance, I think, it's on a level. It's like, let's see, scarcity and then abundance is up here. And so anything that'll make you feel good, anything, you feel good, you feel strong, you have abundance, you have everything you need financially taken care of, or let's say you have a lot of friendships, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to freeze in the winter. All this, I'd say, is questions of scarcity, abundance. How do you feel? How do we actually feel in our day-to-day lives? Because I think you can have all the money in the world and not have abundance at all. You can be totally sick. So, I haven't really been thinking, I want to make I do want to make money, and I do want to have everything I that I need financially, but that's not really my number one concern right now. My number one concern is, how am I going to create paradise? How I have that vision in mind of paradise of, how can I get to creating community in the tropics to where everybody's healthy, everybody's happy, and we are totally thriving. Everyone's got enough food, got enough resources. We don't have to stress and to work an extreme amount of time every single day. That is really what I want, and I do know that what I need to get there is money. I need to get some land. I need to either buy an island or buy some land in the tropics somewhere. So that is on my agenda, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But some more things that I wanted to talk about were, experiences that I've had in the past that can help benefit you. When I did my cycling trip, let's see, hold on a minute. Hello? I see you. I guess you don't want to be in it. So, one of the things that I was thinking about was when I was doing my cycling trip, I camped pretty much every single night, or I found somebody who would open up their house for me to basically let me sleep in. And basically it was free accommodation almost the whole entire way. There were a few nights where I had to, and for those of you who don't know, I cycled from here, Cincinnati, to Colorado. It was near Breckenridge. It was Dillon, Colorado, and it actually did not cost that much money to do. I can't remember the numbers, but basically every night accommodation was free. I was cycling, so money on transportation was just probably a couple $100 for the bike, and then I think it was about maybe $150 for the bike, and then I had to buy some bags and some other equipment, but really not that expensive. And so staying at people's houses definitely helped. And I think the point of this is adapting to, because I could have stayed at some hotels. I could have stayed at some hotels, and I think I did stay at a couple hotels, but if I would have done that every night, I would have ran out of money. And I knew that I wanted to cycle across the country. I knew that I wanted to travel the country. And I didn't care if I was sleeping in a hotel. It was more fun to meet people and spend the night at their houses anyway. So being adaptable. The biggest cost was food. And another thing really is about abundance. I think that's going to be one of the major keys in the future. Is we actually have to change the monetary system. We have to change how money is being printed and loaned out to countries on interest, and then having that whole entire country scramble in debt, having to pay it back with more money. So imagine this. This is how the current economic system works. So the private central banks, privately owned, not publicly owned, they are in contract with the government. The private central banks loan money to the government, which is the people of the country, at interest. So all of our money in circulation right now is has to be paid back to the banks. It's debt, and then we just have this massive inflation of we're all scrambling to pay back debt. At least the majority of us are. And so in order to have like abundance, in order to really have abundance, we need to change that. But in the meantime, we have to kind of adapt. So we have to adapt and be flexible. So instead of staying at 5-star hotels every night, we're gonna camp. We camp and and I'm in a situation now where I could buy yellow dragon fruit, which are $8 a pound, just the sweetest, best, juiciest fruits. But I also can buy a box of 40-pound bananas for 23 bucks. So in being adaptable, I can still eat a bunch of bananas and be healthy and feel good. Not going to be as good as yellow dragon fruit, but it's almost necessary to adapt, to budget that correctly if I want to save up enough money to go travel Southeast Asia. So upstream, you know, it's like we have to solve things that are the primary causes. The water flows down and continues to go down. We talked about this in one of our classes in McNick in high school, where there are a bunch of babies floating down a river. They're floating down, and you know, they're coming from the top of the river. What is the best way to solve that solution? Is it to put our energy into going up the river? We might lose some babies coming down. Coming down the river, we might not be able to pick them up and protect them. Or should we put all of our energy into protecting them, or should we put half of our energy into going up the river, half the energy to upstream, half the energy to downstream? And we do have an infinite but relative amount of energy, so we have to live, you know, in the world. But it's extremely important to solve the upstream solution of the private central banks who print our money at interest, and now we're all scrambling as a country in debt to pay that back. So that is a main reason why so many people are in scarcity. So many people are in scarcity because of that reason. And so adapting is playing, is living, you know, it's like doing the best with what you have. That's adapting. Being smart about your money and budgeting and you know, living like, you know, cheaply, kind of, I guess, is one way to put it. And putting energy into the upstream solution is definitely important. And I think that's one thing about the conscious community, is that, you know, we all want, of course we all want abundance, we all want to be happy and healthy, but we need to address the primary causes of why we are unhappy and unhealthy. A lot of us are putting mental energy into doing affirmations and saying, I am abundant, I am happy, I am healthy, I am free, I am living my highest purpose. And these are all good things, these are all rewiring the brain, but you know, it shouldn't be so stressful to, well, I mean, we should be putting energy into fixing the primary causes of it feeling unworthy or feeling scarce, you know. So as I go on in the future to Path to Paradise, you know, traveling the tropics, we're planning to beach camp. We're planning to meet the locals and stay with them, forage fruits. You know, we need to be smart about this. Planning to make money online with YouTube and Instagram, selling things like that. And I imagine I'll put more content out about private central banks and our monetary system to work upstream, because it is important to put energy into solving these problems. So I think that's about it for me right now. So thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to support us on Patreon, I'm gonna link that down below. You can either do the $2 a month or $5 a month. $2 a month will get you access to our locked posts, and $5 a month, all of our locked posts, except for $5 a month, will give you access to the live chats. We can do Q&As, we can do, whatever we want to do, one-on-one or group chats, so we can get to know each other on a little more personal level. Yeah, and stay tuned. Like I said, we bought well, actually I don't know, but we did buy a Philippine one-way ticket to the Philippines from Thailand. So we're thinking the Philippines is the place to be, and we're feeling really good about the Philippines. So yeah, we're stoked about that. We're hearing really good news about the Philippines, about private islands and nice people, safe. So that's the next update. Beach camping in the Philippines, foraging fruits, maybe even some hitchhiking. I don't know, but it's gonna be an adventure. And we want to get to that place of not having to worry about finances, to be in that abundant place of not being in, we don't want to be in scarcity. We don't want to, nobody does. Nobody wants to be in scarcity. So we're trying to get to that place of abundance. And yeah, I think in sharing that, I might post a video about my experience cycling across America. The more of the details about how I did that and how I barely spent any money on that. So yeah, maybe I'll post a link to that video down here, the details, and you guys can check that out and maybe learn a little bit more about how to travel cheaply and just easily. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys, I love you guys. Check out that link in Patreon below. Peace.